Hey, hope you're doing well. So I've been playing a lot of Frisbee with my son recently. I don't know, just all of a sudden kind of got interested in playing Frisbee. And I've played a lot of Frisbee in the past, just both kind of casually for fun, a little bit of ultimate Frisbee, but quite a lot of disc golf or frolf. I won't get into like what each of those different things are, but obviously you're just familiar with Frisbee in general. So I've been noticing as I throw, I bought a nice ultimate frisbee for him and I to throw back and forth. I've been noticing as I throw that my habit with the frisbee is to turn sideways and maybe coil my shoulders a little bit past that sideways position, but not much further than that. And I realized, wait a minute, if I turn my shoulders past my hips a little bit further, then I'll be able to produce more energy, more power, just like in tennis. It's all the same stuff. The kinetic chain is like all the same principles across all different sports. And then as I experimented with turning my shoulders a little bit further, I realized that it was kind of pulling my eyes. It was pulling my vision away from where I needed to keep it, which was on my son, so that I could make well, I don't have to, but it'd be nice to be able to keep an eye on him so that I know what shape and like how far and what direction to release the frisbee and all that sort of stuff. This is just like a one-handed backhand. And for me in particular, if you followed any of my stuff with my one-handed backhand, my big flaw in my drive was that I only turned sideways and I overused my arm, and that's why I tore my shoulder like a year ago. It was because of that bad habit. And I've up until this point made the connection between like vision. Like I want to turn farther, but it's kind of uncomfortable because it's taking my eyes off of my target. And in the case of tennis, we need to track the ball. So in frisbee, it's like you want to be able to see the target. You don't have to see it. Let me show you a couple. This is just really interesting. I just went and did a Google search for disc golf throw. Professional disc golf players are incredible, and they can just launch a frisbee huge distances. And I just want you to look at a couple of these positions. Look at this position. So obviously, the eyes here aren't on the actual target, but the target is somewhere, down here in this green, space past the trees. Look at how far he's turned his shoulders. Now, he can't keep his eyes on the target here, but I just wanted to show you. Look at how far past his hips his shoulders are. Let me show you a couple more. Here's another one, so you can see the target here is like somewhere over this guy's right shoulder. Look at how far the chest is past the hips. And again, like he's not able to keep his eyes on the target here, on the direction, but just as the illustration of the kinetic chain, how to load the body, how to coil the upper body. So the thing is with tennis, we got to keep our eyes on the ball, and so we can't turn this far because we have to track the whole point is the incoming ball, and we have to be able to track that. So there might be a limiting factor if you don't have good flexibility or range of motion in your neck, or like your shoulders, your traps, or maybe your back is stiff and it keeps you from rotating. But what I've discovered throwing frisbee with my son is that I've just been locked into a habit of just not allowing my head my not allowing my body to turn my like chest, my shoulders past a certain point, because it creates a little bit extra stretch in my neck and my like my traps, my upper like shoulders and back. And that's a little bit uncomfortable. It's a little bit of a stretch. And so because I want my head to stay in a certain position to track where I'm throwing, I have to sacrifice how far I can turn my body. And with a little bit of experimenting, I found that I found that I can actually coil my upper body significantly further than my habit and still keep my eyes on my son. And I'm not sure exactly how far, but probably another 10, 15 degrees, like past where I was before. And the results are like immediate. I immediately, with like way less effort, I can throw the frisbee farther. And if I really push myself and stretch myself, I can also, like literally stretch myself, I can also keep my eyes on him at the same time. So I've just been tinkering with this, and I just think it's an interesting connection between the need for visual tracking and potential like limiting factor with range of motion or flexibility with like the neck, the shoulders, the back, and how that can lead to poor technique and poor mechanics and not very good use of the big parts of the body. So just something I'm thinking about. I don't have like a big like aha moment or solution here. Besides that, if you focus on it and literally stretch yourself, a little bit, you could do some work on the side as well. You can get a lot better range of motion out of all of your tennis shots. And there might be little sticking points where the reason why you're stuck in a weak position is just simply because you're trying to accommodate like for something else, like vision or tight like neck or whatever. And so it's locking your upper body, and you're not getting to very strong athletic positions. There's so many interconnected things. It's just always interesting for me when I notice something a little bit different or a little bit different nuance to it. So this is something I'm personally going to be spending a lot of time on for myself and with my students, or especially with myself, this particular thing, because I want to continue working on finding like a good solid one-handed backhand drive. And I think this is actually a pretty big element. So I'll be continuing to work on it on the court as well as in the backyard. And I'll let you know how things are going and what else I learn. Thanks for watching. I hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you again soon.